Hello, how are you today? Lé, Du, Sarinha, Pedro, Renan. Is everybody good? Everybody's fine? Okay. So today we're going to try to study a little bit more about some vocabulary that we can use in everyday conversation, and it's connected to food. Okay, I have prepared a paper for you, and when you return, I'm going to give everybody this paper so that you can have to yourselves. But as for today, we have a little listening practice that I am speaking with you now about the paper and about the materials. And connected with this, I'm going to send to the group this video with me speaking for you about the vocabulary, and I'm going to send to a photograph of the paper so that you can have the contact previously with the material, the structures, the sentences, etc., etc. Some specific points that we have about this paper and this material is that we use some vocabulary differently when we are communicating about food in restaurants and a menu, and when you are going to eat out, for example. Okay, and as for example, let's start with the verb have in use for a different situation. You understand the verb have in normal situation. For example, if I say I have a pencil, I have an eraser, I have a watch, but this is the normal use of the verb have. Now we take a different use for the verb have. In this new situation, when the referential is food or eating habits, for instance, we use have as a substitution to the verbs eat and drink. For example, if you are commenting about your breakfast, so you can say, for my breakfast I eat bread and eggs and cheese, and drink coffee and drink milk. Well, you can say this, but it's possible for you to take a simplification and use have instead of eat and drink. For example, you can say, I have bread, cheese, eggs, and fruit juice. I have pancakes and coffee. So you can simplify by adding the two verbs eat and drink, so you just remove them and you use have as a substitution for eat and drink. For example, another example is lunch. Let's imagine that for lunch you eat pasta and you drink fruit juice, or you eat chicken legs and rice and drink a Coke, for example. So it's not necessary to say eat and drink. It's okay if you say I eat and I drink, it's okay, no problem, but it's not really necessary. Okay, so you can say I have spaghetti and fruit juice. I have beans and rice and beef and a soft drink. So you can use the verb have in order to simplify all of this. Okay, for instance, if you go to a restaurant Let's imagine you get to a restaurant and you arrive at the restaurant and the assistant or the waiter comes to you and asks, "Hello, good evening, what will you have? What will you have?" So you just have a look at the menu like this. So, okay, I will have a pizza and a Coke. So I will have a pizza and a Coke. It's very good. In this moment, you are telling the person your decision. What's your decision to eat and drink at the restaurant? So you say, I will have a pizza and a Coke, or I will have a cheeseburger and a soft drink, or I will have lasagna and soda, for example. So have in this situation is used to make a reference to eat and drink. So that's a specific and different use of have in a context that you are in a restaurant or in a canteen, etc., etc. Okay? So this is the first point. The second point is about the verb to order. The verb to order. Normally, the verb to order, that's when a person gives an order to another person as an activity or as an obligation. For example, when you say the police have ordered the population to stay home, for example. Okay, the police has ordered the drivers to be attentive and not use the cell phone while driving. Well, this is the normal use of order. A different use of order is now in a context of a restaurant too. So order in a restaurant situation, that's when you has decided what you want. So you ask the waiter and says, "Excuse me, I'd like to order a pizza and a Coke." All right, so an order, when you has decided, you has a decision what you would like, and you order the waiter, the attendant, the assistant to bring with the food for you. So this is a different situation. Another example is if you are in a restaurant and the waiter comes and gives you the menu. So you are looking at the menu and you see the foods, the starters, the desserts. Okay, I like this and this and this. So the assistant comes and says, "Excuse me, sir," or "Excuse me, girls," excuse me, everybody. Would you like to order? Would you like to order? And you say, yes, please. I'd like to order pizza for 3 people and a big Coke for everybody. Thank you. So this is the verb to order in a different situation. Okay? All right? And let's remember a different point about eating at home or at a restaurant. So the point is the word meals. What's the meaning of meals? A meal is one of the 3 most important foods that you have in a day. So the principal meals in a day are breakfast, lunch, and dinner. These are the principal meals in a day. Okay? So you can say, normally I just have 2 meals, lunch and dinner. Or I don't like breakfast, so I have just 2 meals. Or a person asks you, what's your favorite meal in a day? You say, well, I prefer breakfast because it's important to start a day with more energy. All right, or you can say, I prefer dinner. Dinner is my favorite meal because I can eat and relax, so I can eat more quietly. So it's better, that's my favorite meal, okay? So in this paper, I have food vocabulary workout. We have some vocabulary in the paper. We got some exercises in the paper in the front and overleaf. And what I'd like you all to do, Lé, Ju, Pedro, Sarinha, and Renan, what I'd like you to do is read the vocabulary of the paper attentively. Okay, read the vocabulary of the paper and have a look at the exercises. Okay, look at the exercises, observe the vocabulary, the orientations that we have here, and do the exercises. And next class we will comment about this. Okay, and of course, if you have difficulties, if you have any questions, you please contact me in the WhatsApp. Okay, so we can talk, we can see what's the problem of this word, is there any problem with this vocabulary and your difficulties, so we can work out about this on the paper, on the vocabulary, on the activities, on the exercises. Okay, actually it's not a difficult vocabulary, it's a very simple vocabulary, and I know that you can understand what I am saying, and you can understand what is in the paper too. Okay, so I'm sending this to you, and please, if you have problems, if you have difficulties, contact me and we're going to talk. Okay, all right, so see you.